Once again, Energy's Us Productions presents Pittsburgh Poltergeezer Prattle. Today's topic, copper-toned hearts, cops, sirens, and souls, and action. Hello, welcome back again. I got blasted with a nose powder in the EMF right before I started this one. I did another one earlier today and it didn't happen, so I said, let's try another one. Alright, today's topic, copper-toned hearts, cops, sirens, and souls. That's the name of the show. Feel free to copy and share anything I teach or record. Please consider what I teach. It helps enhance the 100th monkey effect in our newly unified fields as heaven reglands to earth. And if you have any questions, see my past videos. They're all quite short. And I'm also now on Rumble. I'm on Rumble, Twitter, BitChute, and YouTube. Complete works are on Rumble. And all but one are on YouTube. I no longer do BitChute. It took too long to upload. And back to tonight's topic. Copper-toned hearts, cops, sirens, and souls. The goal, let me go over this briefly. Copper tone, tone coming from free electron abundance in copper, affecting people's hearts, such as policemen, sirens, also known as alluring women by their cymatics, the noise they make, and souls, what happens to your soul when you're magnetically intimidated by others without your knowledge. And the goal would be for those who would control them to have cunning control, covert control, a secret. And the means they do it by electron domination in magnet rivers. As you recall, the magnetic convection stream going over your head is like a river of magnetism, and the magnetism draws the plasma to it. So if you have copper blood in a magnetic-based environment, you have a better range. You can reach memories from farther away, we shall say, because you have more energy in your free electrons to reach out farther. Kind of like a spark. It's a lasso, maybe. And in the end, and what happens in the end after all this covert control is done is the temporary chaos before the reglanding of the heavens to earth comes to a noticeable end. And COP is actually short for copper, I believe. And he keeps the copper badge close to his heart. And you remember, like, earth is E-A, ear, and look, heart has the word here in it. And that would cause him to be dipole, rather than operating with just his iron blood-based heart. He'd be getting overwashed with electrons from from loose electrons on his copper badge that are possibly enacted by someone who has blue blood or an abundance of people with red blood in his proximity. That would cause him to have unsuspected magnetic operations within his heart field, the iron in his heart. And so he'd be affected by what I mentioned, and when he would take his badge off at the end of the day, it'd be like he lost some of his operating system potential. He's going to feel different every time, and that might be hard on you, make you think you have mood swings or something like that. And let's see how else. Yeah, transmitters and receivers like a badge. Coils, like on their Sparky gun, they shoot to stop guys because there's a coil in there. Remember, the plasma collects the coils and gets denser and conducts faster. And pennies, we mentioned that in another video, where the ones with copper blood could kind of transpawn, use a penny in your pocket instead of a badge on your heart. Maybe to read what you're going to buy in the store or whatever. And crystals, that would affect them. We mentioned infractions and variations in frequencies caused by crystals nearby. And galvanics, the skin resistance, the flow of current across your skin And oddly, you can think for yourself why there's an island named Galveston and another one named Goat. And you could think maybe about the Galvanics going across the ocean down there in the Gulf of America. And also, the old televisions had what's called a cathode ray tube. It's a great big capacitor. And as it sat in your house, it would gain a charge and hold it. And then it's going to spray all that plasma collected at you while you're watching TV. And then when it goes off, it's going to Bedini Bell in your datas and mix it in with all the datas that came from Hollywood. Mix it all up in that big bowl called a cathode ray tube and spray it like rasters right at you. And another curious thing is, even when they had only black and white televisions, they still had a lot of red-headed women on them that were enticing to look at, even though you didn't know they had red hair. It looked brown on a black and white TV when I was little. And the siren, that's on a police car. At least it used to be. Yeah, they still have them on police car. It warbles like the sound that brings the snake up out of the wicker basket. It does the same thing with plasma. That's how they get that snake to come up when they play that music. And see, strumpet, that's a name for a woman, I think, or someone like that, that's trying to lure you or alter your thought patterns and your feelings. And see, it's trumpet right in the word there. And a lot of times they'll have copper in their hair. It'll look orange, and in their blood it'll get kind of bluish instead of real red. Yeah, because red is lower frequency with the iron in it, and blue is a higher frequency with copper in it. And for an example, red blood, you could transmit, let's say, 30 feet distance in all directions, where if you had copper blood, you could go 100 feet. That's like Bluetooth. You could get 30 feet or 100 feet if you get a booster. Yeah, like Bluetooth. And Bell Bedini, if you look up the Bedini motor, see if the magnetics open up like this and collapse. When they collapse, they take in all your datas, like the program on the internet that knows what song you want to hear next and stuff like that. And how would a siren or a strumpet do it, an agent trying to alter you? With hugs, they'd get their heart real close to you and take a real good close read on you instead of scooping with a Bedini bell. Net, like a magnet, remember? And something called a priapism. That makes it's kind of like, you could compare it to being hungry all the time or something for your girlfriend or your loved one. And then you would have inner cores, ejectamenta. And that's from your inner core would eject your mind. Remember, ment means mind. See, there's mind. That's those little letters down there say mind. And lastly, your souls would be in predicaments, chaos, and then death. So you got to watch out for that. You don't want to accidentally, hurt each other because somebody's overriding your circuit with copper electrons instead of iron like everyone else seems to have, for the most part. Yeah, that's like an unseen poison. And we mentioned too, you can get like dust and stuff in you that when it gets hit with that magnet or that excess copper electrons, it can make you sneeze and cough and choke and all kinds of things. And then you won't strive to go have fun with your friends or play or learn new stuff. You'll want to take a nap or throw up, and it's very tiresome. I know all about it. And then you'd have magnetic plasma contagions to where, like, I magnetize poles with my my pinball magnet so that it's there, but I don't want to put sickness on the pole. So other people's heart magnets would get what you had, and you don't want that. So there's some things to learn about, and I want everyone to know, no matter what you think about yourself, if you think, well, I'm too goofy or stupid or I goofed up too much or made too many mistakes, you got to remember that this guy here, Mark, he didn't have any education about any of this stuff. He can't read for 2 cents. I can't read for squat. And a lot of times if I do, because of the magnetics, so they're all over the place, I forget real quick. It washes out this little gap in here. So you could say I'm like this compared to you all. And I want to remind you all too, if I can do it without crying, that you all think all this stuff. I just hear it. I don't hear it. I get the magnet stuff because I go around like a dog does and touch all the poles with this. So I get all kinds of stuff. It's like, say, running around on a big magnet tape, like in an old tape recorder or something like that. And that's all. And I sure love you. And a whole bunch love you. And everything's going to be fine. And I'm glad you could listen. I'm glad I could do this today. It was awfully tough for me. I got through the first one without all that conflict from the partisans. And I think your skirmishes around the world are about over now. Because something's making me real weepy. So apparently, there's a big change in your world. I think you know. Everything. There's going to be so many miracle machines, and just even without machines, like this guy here. He went from that to whatever talks in his mouth. I love you. Whole bunch love you. Sorry to ramble on. I saw I had a little bit of time left. Thanks for watching. Y'all help so much when you watch. Today, the first one that watched the first one I put in, I could hear how smart you were. I could hear you think about all the ebbs and tides and flows of the plasma as the Earth spun, and the sun magnet and the Earth magnet all moved it around under California there. You're so clever. So glad you're all here. Bye.